The later half of the 1990s would also see the Toyota brothers step back from the company their father had founded. In 1992, Shoichiro Toyoda would shift to become chairman, allowing his brother Tatsuro to become president, a job he held until his retirement in 1995. Shoichiro would step down as chairman in 1999. Both would retain honorary advisory roles in the company. Hiroshi Okuda would lead the company as president from 1995 until 1999, when he became chairman, and the president's office would be filled by Fujioka. 2000s, edit. In August 2000, exports began of the Prius. In 2001, Toyota acquired its longtime partner, truck and bus manufacturer Hino Motors. In 2002, Toyota entered Formula One competition and established a manufacturing joint venture in France with French automakers Citroën and Peugeot. A youth-oriented marque for North America, Scion, was introduced in 2003. Toyota ranked 8th on Forbes' 2000 list of the world's leading companies for the year 2005. Also in 2005, Fujioka would shift to become chairman of Toyota and would be replaced as president by Katsuaki Watanabe. In 2007, Toyota released an update of its full-size truck, the Tundra, produced in 2 American factories, one in Texas and one in Indiana. Motor Trend named the 2007 Toyota Camry Car of the Year for 2007. It also began the construction of 2 new factories, one in Woodstock, Ontario, Canada, and the other in Blue Springs, Mississippi, USA. The company was number 1 in global automobile sales for the first quarter of 2008. Toyota was affected by the 2008 financial crisis, and in December 2008 it had its first annual loss in 70 years. In January 2009, it announced the closure of all of its Japanese plants for 11 days to reduce output and stocks of unsold vehicles. In October 2009, Toyota announced that they were establishing an office in South Korea and launched the Camry sedan, Camry Hybrid, Prius and the RAV4 during the launching event at the Grand Hyatt Seoul. Between 2009 and 2011, Toyota conducted recalls of millions of vehicles after reports that several drivers experienced unintended acceleration. The recalls were to prevent a front driver's side floor mat from sliding into the foot pedal well, causing the pedals to become trapped, and to correct the possible mechanical sticking of the accelerator pedal. At least 37 were killed in crashes allegedly related to unintended acceleration. Approximately 9 million cars and trucks were recalled. Toyota was sued for personal injuries and wrongful deaths, paid $1 billion to settle a class action lawsuit to compensate owners for lost resale value, and paid a $1.2 billion criminal penalty to the United States government over accusations that it had intentionally hid information about safety defects and had made deceptive statements to protect its brand image. Amid the unintended acceleration scandal, Katsuaki Watanabe stepped down as company president. He was replaced by Akio Toyoda, grandson of company founder Kiichiro Toyoda, on the 23rd of June, 2009. Akio had been with Toyota since 1984, working jobs in production, marketing and product development, and took a seat on the board of directors in 2000. Akio's promotion by the board marked the return of a member of the Toyota family to the top leadership role for the first time since 1999. 2010s, edit. In 2011, Toyota, along with large parts of the Japanese automotive industry, suffered from a series of natural disasters. The 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami led to a severe disruption of the supplier base and a drop in production and exports. Severe flooding during the 2011 monsoon season in Thailand affected Japanese automakers that had chosen Thailand as a production base. Toyota is estimated to have lost production of 150,000 units to the tsunami and production of 240,000 units to the floods. On the 10th of February, 2014, it was announced that Toyota would cease manufacturing vehicles and engines in Australia by the end of 2017. The decision was based on the unfavorable Australian dollar making exports not viable, the high cost of local manufacture, and the high amount of competition in a relatively small local market. The company planned to consolidate its corporate functions in Melbourne by the end of 2017, and retain its Altona plant for other functions. The workforce was expected to be reduced from 3,900 to 1,300. Both Ford Motor Company and General Motors, Holden, followed suit, ending Australian production in 2016 and 2017 respectively. The automaker narrowly topped global sales for the first half of 2014. Selling 5.1 million vehicles in the 6 months ending the 30th of June, 2014, an increase of 3.8% on the same period the previous year. Volkswagen AG, which recorded sales of 5.07 million vehicles, was close behind. In August 2014, Toyota announced it would be cutting its spare parts prices in China by up to 35%. The company admitted the move was in response to a probe foreshadowed earlier in the month by China's National Development and Reform Commission of Toyota's Lexus spare parts policies, as part of an industry-wide investigation into what the Chinese regulator considers exorbitantly high prices being charged by automakers for spare parts and after-sales servicing. In November 2015, the company announced that it would invest $1 billion over the next 5 years into artificial intelligence and robotics research. In 2016, Toyota invested in Uber. In 2020, a corporate governance report showed that Toyota owns 10.25 million shares of Uber, which was valued at $292.46 million as of the 30th of March 2020. According to Reuters, this was roughly 0.6% of Uber's outstanding shares. In March 2016, Toyota partnered with Yanmar to create a fiberglass pleasure boat using Yanmar outboard marine diesel engines or Toyota inboard engines. In August 2016, the company purchased all remaining assets of Daihatsu, making the manufacturer of small cars a wholly owned subsidiary of Toyota. On the 27th of August 2018, Toyota announced an investment of $500 million in Uber's autonomous cars. In October 2019, Toyota backed the Trump administration's proposal that federal authorities should override California's ability to set its own emissions standards for automobiles. The proposal would reduce California's 2025 fuel efficiency standard from about 54.5 to 37 miles per gallon. This shift by Toyota away from fuel efficiency damaged the company's reputation as a green brand. 2020s, edit. By 2020, Toyota reclaimed its position as the largest automaker in the world, surpassing Volkswagen. It sold 9.528 million vehicles globally despite an 11.3% drop in sales due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This includes subsidiaries Daihatsu and Hino Motors. On the 2nd of April 2020, BYD and Toyota announced a new joint venture between the two companies called BYD Toyota EV Technology Company, Limited, with the aim of developing BEVs, battery electric vehicles, that appeal to customers. In March 2021, Toyota, its subsidiary Hino, and Isuzu announced the creation of a strategic partnership between the three companies. Toyota acquired a 4.6% stake in Isuzu while the latter plans to acquire Toyota shares for an equivalent value. The three companies said they would form a new joint venture by April called Commercial Japan Partnership Technologies Corporation with the aim of developing fuel cell and electric light trucks. Toyota would own an 80% stake in the venture while Hino and Isuzu would own 10% each. In April 2021, Toyota said that it will buy LYFT's self-driving technology unit for $550 million and merge it with its newly created Woven Planet Holdings automation division. In June 2021, the company defended its donations to the United States Republican lawmakers after they voted against certifying the results of the 2020 presidential election, saying it did not believe it was appropriate to judge members of Congress for that one vote. A report by Axios found that Toyota was the top donor to 2020 election objectors, by a substantial margin. The company then reversed course in July 2021 and ceased donations to election objectors, releasing a statement saying it understood that its PAC's donations to those objectors, which far outpaced those of any other company, troubled some stakeholders. Toyota resumed donations after a 6-month pause. In December 2021, Toyota announced that it would invest yuan 8,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 $70 billion at 2021 exchange rate, in electric vehicles by 2030, launch 30 EV models worldwide by that year, and set a sales target of 3.5 million electric vehicles in 2030. Toyota will increase its software engineer intake to around 40% to 50% of all technical hires from the second quarter of 2022. The move plans to address a transformation to so-called CASE, connected, autonomous, shared and electric, technologies in an environment of intensifying global competition. In 2021, Toyota told some of its suppliers to increase their semiconductor inventory levels from the conventional 3 months to 5 months in response to the COVID-19 chip shortage. The just-in-time supply chain in which parts are only delivered when necessary, had already been revised after the 11th of March, 2011, earthquake and tsunami in Japan, lifting inventories across the entire procurement network. The time it takes Toyota to turn over its inventory increased by around 40% during the past 10 years, to 36.36 days as of March 2021. In June 2022, Toyota recalled 2,700 of its first mass-produced all-electric vehicles due to worries that their wheels could fall off during driving. It was discovered that the bolts on the BZ4XS wheels could loosen up to the point where the wheel simply detaches from the car, causing a loss of control over the vehicle and possible accident. In August 2022, Toyota pledged up to $5.6 billion towards electric vehicle battery production and announced an increase in investment in its plant near Greensboro, North Carolina. Also in 2022, Toyota managed to maintain its position as the world's best-selling automaker for the 3rd year in a row. In 2022, Toyota signed a £11.3 million deal with the British government to develop hydrogen-powered pickup trucks. The Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy is investing £5.6 million in the research scheme. based at Burnaston, with a further £5.7 million coming through the Advanced Propulsion Centre UK, APC. In January 2023, Toyota CEO and President Akio Toyoda announced that he was stepping down and passing the position on to Koji Sato. Akio is the great-grandson of company founder Rizaburo Toyoda. Sato had previously run Lexus, Toyota's luxury car brand. The change is set to take effect on the 1st of April 2023. In 2023, after negotiating with the unions, Toyota implemented the largest increase in employee wages in 20 years. In July 2024, Toyota announced plans to build an electric car cell plant in Fukuoka and export them to the rest of Asia. In the 18th of October 2024, Toyota announced to return to Formula One after a 15-year absence, partnering with the US-based Haas team. In November 2024, Toyota and Joby Aviation completed an air taxi test flight in Japan using an electric vertical takeoff and landing (eVTOL) aircraft. Toyota had invested $394 million to Joby as part of a strategic alliance on commercial manufacturing. In June 2025, Toyota announced to raise its prices for some vehicles sold in the US by an average of $270 from July 2025 as the US government imposed a 25% tariff on the imported vehicle parts. Board of Directors, edit. 1 Chairman, Akio Toyoda, since April 2023. 2 Vice Chairman, Shigeru Hayakawa. 3 President and CEO, Koji Sato, since April 2023. 4 Members. 1 Takeshi Yamada. 2 James Kuffner. 3 Kenta Kon. 4 Masahiko Maeda. 5 Ikuro Sugawara. 6 Sir Philip Craven. 7 Takeo Kudo. List of former chairmen, edit. In 1950, Toyota was split into Toyota Motor Company and Toyota Motor Sales Company, sales arm of Toyota. The two companies merged in 1982 to create one unified company, with then Toyota Motor Company President Eiji Toyoda becoming chairman. Chairmen listed prior to 1982 below were for the pre-merger Toyota Motor Company only. 1 Rizaburo Toyoda, 1937–1948. 2 Taizo Ishida, 1948–1952. 3 Shoiki Saito, 1952–1959. 4 Masaya Hanai, 1959–1982. 5 Eiji Toyoda, 1982–1994. 6 Shoikyo Toyoda, 1994–1999. 7 Hiroshi Okuda, 1999–2006. 8 Fujiocho, 2006–2013. 9 Takeshi Yamada, 2013–2023. List of former presidents, edit. Similar to the chairman position, in 1982 the then Toyota Motor Sales Company President Shoikyo Toyoda becoming president. Presidents listed prior to 1982 below were for the pre-merger Toyota Motor Company only. 1 Rizaburo Toyoda, 1937–1941. 2 Kiichiro Toyoda, 1941–1950. 3 Taizo Ishida, 1950–1961. 4 Fukio Nakagawa, 1961–1967. 5 Eiji Toyoda, 1967–1982. 6 Shoikyo Toyoda, 1982–1992. 7 Tatsuro Toyoda, 1992–1995. 8 Hiroshi Okuda, 1995–1999. 9 Fujiocho, 1999–2005. 10 Katsueki Watanabe, 2005–2009. 11 Akio Toyoda, 2009–2023. Product line, edit. This section relies excessively on references to primary sources. Please improve this section by adding secondary or tertiary sources. Find sources: Toyota News Times, Newspapers Times, Books Times, Scholar Times, GeForce. December 2023. Learn how and when to remove this message. Further information: List of Toyota vehicles. Toyota officially lists approximately 70 different models sold under its namesake brand, including sedans, coupes, vans, trucks, hybrids, and crossovers. Many of these models are produced as passenger sedans, which range from the subcompact Toyota Yaris, compact Corolla, to mid-size Camry and full-size Avalon. Minivans include the Innova, Alphard /Bellfire, Sienna, and others. Several small cars, such as the XB and TC, were sold under the Scion brand. SUVs and crossovers, edit. This section relies excessively on references to primary sources. Please improve this section by adding secondary or tertiary sources. Find sources: Toyota News Times, Newspapers Times, Books Times, Scholar Times, GeForce. December 2023. Learn how and when to remove this message. Toyota SUV and crossover lineup grew quickly in the late 2010s to 2020s due to the market's shift to SUVs. Toyota crossovers range from the subcompact Yaris Cross and Sea-Hour, compact Corolla Cross and RAV4, to midsize Harrier /Venza and Kluger /Highlander. Other crossovers include the Rise, urban cruiser. Toyota SUVs range from the midsize Fortuner to full-size Land Cruiser. Other SUVs include the Rush, Prado, FJ Cruiser, 4Runner, and Sequoia. Pickup trucks, edit. Toyota first entered the pickup truck market in 1947 with the SB that was only sold in Japan and limited Asian markets. It was followed in 1954 by the RK, renamed in 1959 as the Stout, and in 1968 by the compact Hilux. With continued refinement, the Hilux, simply known as the pickup in some markets, became famous for being extremely durable and reliable. Extended cab and crew cab versions were eventually added, and Toyota continues to produce them today under various names depending on the market in various cab lengths, with gasoline or diesel engines, and 2WD and 4WD versions. In North America, the Hilux became a major model for the company, leading the company to launch the Tacoma in 1995. The Tacoma was based on the Hilux, but with a design intended to better suit the needs of North American consumers who often use pickup trucks as personal vehicles. The design was a success and the Tacoma became the best-selling compact pickup in North America. After the success of its compact Hilux pickups in North America, Toyota decided to enter the full-size pickup market, which was traditionally dominated by domestic automakers. The company introduced the T100 for the 1993 US model year. The T100 had a full-size 8-foot, 2.4 m, long bed, but suspension and engine characteristics were similar to that of a compact pickup. Sales were disappointing and the T100 was criticized for having a small V6 engine, especially compared to the V8 engines common in American full-size trucks, lacking an extended cab version, being too small, and too expensive, because of the 25% tariff on imported trucks. In 1995, Toyota added the more powerful V6 engine from the new Tacoma to the T100 and also added an extended cab version. In 1999, Toyota replaced the T100 with the larger Tundra, which would be built in the US with a V8 engine and styling that more closely matched other American full-size trucks. Luxury vehicles, edit. See also, Lexus. In the Japanese home market, Toyota has two flagship models, the Crown Premium Sedan and the Century Limousine. In the 1980s, Toyota wanted to expand its luxury car offerings but realized that existing Japanese market flagship models had little global appeal and could not compete with established brands such as Mercedes-Benz, BMW and Jaguar, or the Acura and Infiniti marques being launched by Japanese competitors. Before the decade was out, Toyota introduced Lexus, a new division that was formed to market and service luxury vehicles in markets outside of Japan. The company developed the brand and its vehicles in secret since August 1983, at a cost of over $1 billion. The Lexus LS flagship full-size sedan debuted in 1989 to strong sales, and was largely responsible for the successful launch of the Lexus marque. Subsequently, the division added sedan, coupe, convertible and SUV models. The Lexus brand was introduced to the Japanese market in 2005. Previously all vehicles marketed internationally as Lexus from 1989 to 2005 were released in Japan under the Toyota marque. Buses, edit. This section does not cite any sources. Please help improve this section by adding citations to reliable sources. Unsourced material may be challenged and removed. December 2023, learn how and when to remove this message. The Toyota Coaster is a minibus introduced in 1969 that seats 17 passengers. The Coaster is widely used in Japan, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Australia, but also in the developing world for minibus operators in Africa, the Middle East, South Asia, the Caribbean, and South America to operate as public transportation. The Toyota Hiace is also sometimes used as a minibus. Technology, edit. Hybrid electric vehicles, edit. Main article, Toyota hybrid vehicles. See also, hybrid synergy drive and Toyota Prius. Toyota is the world's leader in sales of hybrid electric vehicles, one of the largest companies to encourage the mass market adoption of hybrid vehicles across the globe, and the first to commercially mass produce and sell such vehicles, with the introduction of the XW10 Toyota Prius in 1997. The company's hybrid technology is called hybrid synergy drive, and it was later applied to many vehicles in Toyota's product lineup, starting first with the Camry, and the technology was also brought to the luxury Lexus division. As of January 2020, Toyota Motor Corporation sells 44 Toyota and Lexus hybrid passenger car models in over 90 countries and regions around the world, and the carmaker has sold over 15 million hybrid vehicles since 1997. The Prius family is the world's top-selling hybrid gasoline-electric vehicle nameplate, with almost 4 million units sold worldwide as of January 2017. Hydrogen fuel cell, edit. This section relies excessively on references to primary sources. Please improve this section by adding secondary or tertiary sources. Find sources: Toyota News, Times Newspapers, Times Books, Times Scholar, Times Chester. December 2023, learn how and when to remove this message. See also, Toyota Mirai. In 2002, Toyota began a development and demonstration program to test the Toyota FCHV, a hybrid hydrogen fuel cell vehicle based on the Toyota Highlander production SUV. Toyota also built a FCHV bus based on the Hino Blue Ribbon City low-floor bus. Toyota has built several prototypes forward/concepts of the FCHV since 1997, including the Toyota FCHV1, FCHV2, FCHV3, FCHV4, and Toyota FCHV-ADV. The Toyota FCVR fuel cell concept car was unveiled at the 2011 Tokyo Motor Show. The FCVR sedan seats 4 and has a